In my professional life, one of the things that I've been passionate about is continuous improvement or lean thinking. This was popularized by the Japanese car giant Toyota in what is commonly known today as Toyota Production Systems or TPS. I was so passionate about this that even for my MBA thesis, I wrote a 20,000-word essay. One of the backbones of TPS is what is known as Muda in Japanese or 7 waste in English. The purpose of this is to try and eliminate waste in the system so that you have a better product and at a less cost. With varying degrees of success, I have tried to implement this in my home life so that we can try and eliminate waste. When we return, we shall look at these 7 ways that I have identified in my personal home life, which hopefully will help you to save money and increase your savings potential. Hello everyone, my name is JP of JP Financial and Accounting, Everyday Finance Made Simple. On this channel, we try to train, to coach and to equip you with the relevant money management skills. And of course, as always, we always try to glean as much wisdom from scripture. In economics, they use the term opportunity cost. The definition of opportunity cost according to the New Oxford American Dictionary is when an option is chosen over alternatives. The opportunity cost is the cost incurred by not enjoying the benefits associated with the best alternative choice. In simple terms, opportunity cost is the benefit not received as a result of not selecting the best option. In our last video, Saving for the Rainy Day, we mentioned that many people believe that they cannot afford to save because they do not earn enough money. However, when you waste your money buying things that you do not need, you forfeit the opportunity of saving money for the rainy day. When you hear me talking about these things, you might be tempted to believe that I have arrived, that I am the best money manager there is out there. But the honest truth is that I too have let the ball drop. I've made many mistakes over the years and I've lost many opportunities paying for things that I did not need. Now, let us discuss the 7 things or the 7 ways that I have found in my family over the years. Number 1 is food and groceries. According to the government-funded organization called Waste and Resource Action Program or WRAP, between 30 and 40% of all food that is purchased is thrown away. In the UK, this accounts for 6.7 million tons of food that goes into the bin and landfill every year. The percentage is even higher when you look at fruit and vegetables. Estimates say that around 500 pounds a year of food is thrown into the bin by each family in the UK. And a further 1,500 pounds is wasted because people do not shop smart. What do we mean by smart shopping? Shopping smart means that A, you plan your meals in advance and you only buy ingredients for those meals that are in your plan. B, you prepare a shopping list before heading out to the shops and that you only pick the items that are on your shopping list. And you need to be disciplined that you are not tempted by those items that are deliberately placed at your eye level at the counters so that you can pick them. Smart shopping means C, you are not fooled by the words finest or extra special that they place on ordinary products and you think you are buying the best or that you are treating yourself by buying those things. Smart shopping means try dropping one brand level down and see if you can tell the difference. If you can't, stick to the cheaper alternative. If you can always upgrade. E, similar to D above, try to buy at a budget supermarket and see if you can tell the difference. If you can always upgrade on those products that you think are poor quality in a budget supermarket. F, smart shopping means if you have children, try to avoid bulk buying junk food because this is a sure way of making sure that fruit and vegetable goes into the bin uneaten. The second waste that I discovered in my home is on utility bills and insurances. This one caught me unawares. I didn't think I was wasting that much money on my bills and insurances. I stayed with the same providers for 6 or 7 years. What I have learned is that insurance companies and utility providers do not reward loyalty. No matter how loyal you are, they will always increase your bill. If you don't switch regularly, you discover that you are paying way over the top. When I eventually decided to switch, this is what I discovered. On my car insurance, I was overpaying by over £600. On my home insurance, I was overpaying by £500. On my boiler insurance, I was overpaying by £200. In total, that was about £2,000 overpayment on just my utilities and insurances. Insurance and utility companies do not reward loyalty. Therefore, I would urge everyone to switch providers annually without fail. The third waste that I found in my home over the years is on mobile and cell phones. This is another area where it is easy to get trapped without realizing. By the time you discover you spend hundreds of pounds or even thousands without realizing. There are three main areas that can catch you out on this one. The first area where you can get caught out is at the end of your contract. When your contract ends, the company never calls you to say your contract has ended and therefore we are reducing your payments. They continue to take the payments regardless. B, if you are lured by promises of 20 gig, 30 gig, 50 gig, 100 gig data, you can be lured into a contract that you do not need. I realized that on average a month I was spending only 500 megabytes data because most of the time I'm either at work or at home and there is Wi-Fi there, so I always use the Wi-Fi and therefore I do not need even a 1 gig of data, so I do not need to be paying for that. C, it is the temptation to upgrade. As your contract draws to an end, the company will start sending you a lot of messages telling you that you can upgrade now. But do you really need to upgrade? Because the difference between an iPhone 11 and iPhone 12 generally can be a better camera. But if you're not a professional photographer, why do you need a better camera? Do you really need to pay £500, £600 just for a better camera when you've got a fully functional device? We need to be careful that we do not get trapped by mobile phone companies. If you pay an extra £1,000 that you did not need to, you have lost the opportunity to save an extra £1,000. The fourth trap that I have seen at my house that sometimes we have fallen into is health, diet, and beauty products. On this one, don't take my word for it. Go to Google now and type health, diet, and beauty products scam. You will discover that there are no magic cures for your condition. People, let us be wise. Let's not fall prey into these scams. Imagine, if it took you 10 years to gain that weight, why do you think there is a magic pill out there that can get it off in one day? Believe me, people, there is no magic protein product that can make you ripped in a day. Those people that you see advertising those products are full-time personal trainers. They train up to 12, 13, 14 hours every day. That's why they are that ripped. That person that you see whose skin seems spotless on that picture is a fake. It's called photoshopping. Number 5. The fifth waste that I discovered in my home is on gadgets and appliances. I personally have 6 gadgets that do basically the same thing. I have a desktop computer. I have 2 laptops, one from work and one personal one. I have an iPad. I have a tablet. I've got a Galaxy Note phone. All these things do basically the same thing. It's a waste to have so many things, and I've forfeited the opportunity to save that money. If you go to our kitchen, we have a Kenwood food processor. It has a cream maker attachment. It's got a potato peeler. It's got a juicer. It's got a citrus juicer. It's got a chips cutter. It's got a shredder and many other attachments. When was it last used? 2-3 years ago? Another waste sitting in our kitchen. Of course, there are also the steamers, the bread makers, the deep fried fryers. The list goes on and on. It's endless. All these things that we've bought and put in our houses and we don't use them is an opportunity lost to save money. And therefore, we say we do not have enough to save when we have wasted money on things that we do not need or use. Number 6 on my list of waste is membership fees or subscriptions. According to a report by the website This Is Money, in Britain, £25 billion, 25, you heard me right, £25 billion is paid annually by people for membership fees or subscriptions that they do not need. This includes gym membership, cable TV, antivirus software, credit card annual fees, and even professional memberships. I have fallen into the trap of paying a lot of money for professional membership fees that I did not need. At one point, I was paying £600 for membership that I did not need so that I just could use their letters after my name. Once I realized this, I dropped the membership, and now I only use the letters that come free of charge, and I also retain just one membership which my employers are willing to pay for. I would also add that beware of membership that renews automatically, whether monthly or annually. There could be a trap in there. Trap number 7 that we can fall into and waste money paying for things that we do not need are credit card fees and impulse buys. I covered credit cards in detail in another video, so I will not spend a lot of time talking about credit cards. But what I would say, if you have not watched the video, I'll link it below, go and check it out. For now, I would add that when you use credit cards, be careful of the annual fees, the late payment fees, and the interest, what is generally known as consumer fees. Closely linked to credit card use are what I would call impulse purchases or impulse buys. These come in 2 main categories. Firstly, online, and secondly, in charity shops or so-called charity shops. The trap in charity shops is the prices look so good. It seems like you are saving money. For example, you walk into a charity shop and you see a pair of shoes and the price says £5. You look at the pair and say, wow, £5, I am saving, because in the shop the shoe costs £100. So to you it seems you are saving £95, but in fact you could be buying a pair that you do not need, that you will never wear. Again, remember the opportunity cost of that £5. It could have been saved away for the rainy day, but you are using it now, depleting your savings potential with something that you do not need. And soon what you realize, you've got a house full of clothes that are never worn or used. The second category where you can actually waste money with impulse purchases is online. When you are online, you look at things because they are so good at marketing those things, and when you look at them, at first glance, you think, I'm getting a good deal, or I need this. And again, this could be linked to what we spoke about when we spoke about appliances and gadgets. The way they are marketed to you, they seem to be necessary. But as soon as you buy it and you have it at home, you realize you do not need those things. So what I would say is, when you are online, whether it be Amazon, whether it be eBay or any other sites, be careful at that hard marketing that is at work, trying to sell you things that you do not necessarily need, and you end up depleting your savings potential. I will give you a tip that I use when I am shopping online. When I see something and I think I need it, or I want it, or I think it's necessary, I place it in the shopping basket or shopping cart as they call them at times. I leave it there for 2 days. If after 2 days I think I still need it, then and only then do I buy it. Otherwise, I would say 98% of the time I realize that I do not actually need that item and I delete it. So that's the trick that I have developed. Otherwise, it's easy for you to be buying things that you don't really need online. Finally, let's move on to our last section, which is verse of the day. In John chapter 6, we read the story of feeding of the 5,000. In verse 12 it reads, "So when they were filled, he said to his disciples, 'Gather up the fragments that remain, so that nothing is lost.' Therefore they gathered them up and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which were left over by those who had eaten." Remember, Jesus had just fed 5,000 people with just 5 loaves of bread. And after that, there were leftovers. And he says, gather them up. Make sure that nothing is lost. To me, that's a lesson to us. We need to be careful that we do not waste anything. We need to gather every single fragment so nothing is lost. So that is in our homes, in our groceries, in our food shopping, nothing should be lost. When we pay for our utility bills, nothing should be lost. When we use our mobile phones, nothing should be lost. Whatever we do, we should not be losing money. We need to be careful with the resources that God has given us. Finally, in the same vein, I am going to read from Proverbs chapter 21 verse 20. I like the Contemporary English Version translation. It reads, "Be sensible and store up precious treasure. Don't waste them like a fool." Same message from what Jesus says there. Don't be a fool. Don't waste your treasure. Don't waste your money. Save it up for the rainy day. Finally, I would like to say thank you for the feedback and the support I have received on this channel since we started 4 weeks ago. I really appreciate your feedback and I thank you for supporting me on this work. Many of you have called me. Many of you have sent me text messages. Many of you have emailed me. I appreciate that. Can I just add that the best way to support me in this work is to subscribe to the channel. Add your comments or feedback in the comments below. That way it helps me reach a larger audience because of the way the YouTube algorithm works. For it to drive more traffic to the channel, it uses the number of subscribers, it uses the likes, it also uses the comments section. So if you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel, smash that notification bell, and like this video. Thank you very much. Bye for now. God bless.